throw it to where he needs to be.
Guys are looking for a spark here.
Yeah, I mean, a cold stretch offensively. They desperately need a basket.
Allen kicks to Hill. Layup off the pick.
And Rodney Stuckey, a combo guard out of Eastern Washington, played a big role for the Pacers a season ago.
You were talking about Stuckey. He did play well in his first year with the Pacers. Clark, he helped them as a starter and off the bench.
Yeah, really had his most efficient year scoring the ball to date. And more than his scoring and what he brought on the court, his presence in the locker room and professionalism. You talk to the people around the Pacers, he was a breath of fresh air on a team that has a number of fresh air guys.
Stuckey against Jordan. Rose sets the screen for Jordan. Soft touch off the glass. Jordan's got his first bucket in this one.
The second he got around the pick and shook his man, it was straight to the bucket for the easy deuce. Very, very well done.
Hill a screen on Jordan. Jordan. And good coming on the assist by Rodney Stuckey.
Guys, that's just really unstoppable. He poses a ton of matchup problems for whomever he's facing.
Rose attacking. He kicks it to Butler. Good-looking screen by Gasol. Pass to Jordan. Shot clock at 6. Butler dishes to Jordan. Off target from outside.
Boy, from my angle, it looked like it was in the bottom of the net. Looked good from here.
Yeah, I'm about as shocked as you are, Clark.
And there's the 3-second violation. And now let's take a look at the most efficient scoring teams in the NBA. Number 1, the Bulls.
Are just tremendously disciplined offensively, always looking for the best possible shot. That's how they've gotten that field goal percentage to skyrocket.
Jordan with it. He's guarded by Stuckey. Noah the screen. Outside Butler. Outside Gasol. The shot. It's Chicago with another bucket.
And we always talk about making your teammate better. That assist was right on target.
Hill against Rose. And Gasol sends it back. Here's Jordan. Nice pass, nice catch, and a resounding dunk.
Boy, he threw out some punishment with that two-hand throwdown.
And Clark, now's the time to do it. Continue to attack that rim.
Butler against George. And Butler sends it back. And here's the fast break. Jordan leading the way. That is good. And what's your take, guys, on the hustle stats for the Bulls?
Well, in the first half of play, they're closing out aggressively, blocking shots. A key indicator of their activity on the defensive side.
Another big aspect of their game tonight has been the fast break, transition opportunities. They're really keeping it up-tempo so far.
Here's George. George missing again.
Well, I think the defense got lucky right there. I mean, he's going to make a lot more of those than he...
Excellent work there in transition.
Yeah, I think it's always better to go early in transition, to attack when it's there, because oftentimes you can beat the defense down the floor.
Special thanks to Kia for that sweet Kia Slam Cam replay. So the Pacers call timeout, their first of the game. Defeated by the Wizards in their last game, they'll try to put that one behind them.
And the issues they had defensively, in part, I thought, was a huge factor. Really compounded, I think, because it was a road game for them.
Well, you know, they gave the crowd a bunch to cheer about. And when you do that, you put yourself in a really tough position trying to come away with the road win. You know, the Pacers ended up in 4th place in the Central Division last year, guys, and that's not quite what they were used to after taking the division the previous 2 years and getting to the Eastern Conference Finals in the playoffs.
For Chicago, they won their last contest, that game against the Trailblazers.
And if you look at the numbers, guys, I mean, what jumps out at you is the balance they had offensively.
Very satisfying road win because you're right. There was tremendous balance displayed. I mean, the crowd was basically stunned at how they were able to dismantle that defense.
Here's Rose, and there's the slam dunk to finish it off.
You could not diagram a better way to open a quarter.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, look at the lead they've jumped out to already. What a start.
And so here is Indiana. It's a 13-point game. Hill against Rose. Here's the screen. Stuckey passes to George. Just 5 on the clock. To halt the...
You know, sort of surprising he goes for a slam that difficult while they're trailing.
Yeah, but still, you know what? A magnificent move to the rim.
I tell you what, guys, I don't care what the score is. That's the play we're going to remember when this game is over.
And they double up Jordan. And so here is Indiana. Pacers trail by 11. Clark, they've been struggling here on offense.
Yeah, a little bit of cottonmouth here. Dry spell for sure.
Stuckey outside. Score the basket. Nice shot after missing his first attempt.
Really, really good at recognizing the gaps and getting the ball to the rim.
Outside Rose. Noah the screen. Outside Rose. The feed to Butler. 6 on the shot clock. Launches a 3. Allen with the rebound.
He certainly didn't take advantage of the poor defense, but they can't count on him to continue missing.
I tell you what, I think he'd be happy if he can continue to get looks like that.
And the basket by Hill.
Great unspoken communication between teammates, leading to the nice assist and the easy score.
Rose kicks to Butler. Rose with the ball. Playing Portland, he was nearly unstoppable. Bulls moving the ball around. Good looking screen by Gasol. The drive by Jordan. And the whistle blows. It's going to be on Jordan Hill. That is his first foul of the game.
I mean, I like the call. I thought the defense was just there a little late.
Yeah, it looked like it. I mean, he kind of slid underneath as he got to the spot, too.
Catching up on the changes now for Indiana. Mahinmi's checked in for Hill. Hill comes in for LaVoy Allen. And it's C.J. Miles in for Rodney Stuckey. Chicago also making some changes. Gibson comes in for Joakim Noah. And it's Brooks in for Derrick Rose.
They've been hot here early, dropping them in left and right.
Rolling, rolling, rolling. We'll see how long they can keep it going.
Pau Gasol was the number 3 pick back in 2001. He managed to average 18 and 9 his first season, was Rookie of the Year, became a perennial All-Star. There's no way his younger brother Mark, who was a second-round pick, could ever match up to that, right? Not so fast, people. Mark's pretty good, too. It's been a real difficult game for him offensively, and it's cost him.
Brooks with no one around. And it's good. Assisting on the play was Jordan. Jordan's got his 6th assist on the night. Pacers trail by 12. Talking about Pau and brother Mark, both of them were excellent last season. The difference is that Pau has always been considered a great prospect, so detractors are much harder on him when they see cracks, I think, Greg, in his game.
Yeah, you know, for Marc Gasol, it can only exceed expectations because they started out so low. I'd simply say that if I had to pick between one or the other for best career, I'd do everything I could to pick both.
Good way to get out of it. Good answer. The Pacers making a switch here. Turner's checked in. So Chicago going with an almost entirely new group here. Portis, he's checked in for Gasol. Mirotic comes in for Taj Gibson. Mike Dunleavy, he's checked in for Jimmy Butler. And Tony Snell subbed in for Jordan. Now here is Hill. Quiet so far offensively, searching for his first points of the game. The 19-foot shot. And the shot no good, a bit short.
The right thing there to stay that tight on him and really try to keep him out of his comfort zone.
Brooks kicks to Mirotic. Now the Pacers moving it up. Here's Miles, and 2 free throws coming up as he misses that one. Drawing the whistle and a lot of contact there.
That's his first personal foul.
And for C.J. Miles, he sure can string together a long line of threes under the league with a nice jump shot that has now become deadly.
Yeah, he doesn't get to the free throw line much, and he's not really much of a playmaker, but he's 3D in color. HD 3D.
And Miles drops them both.
And talking about C.J. Miles, he was filthy last year. Indiana needed his spark offensively, especially without Paul George in the lineup. Miles responded by putting up career highs in points and minutes played. Just an unbelievable impact on the season.
Pacers trail by 10. 1:25 left here in the first quarter. Outside Hill. 6 to shoot. Here's Mahimi.
Tell you what, Kevin, they'd love to see him get a lot more of those opportunities.
Clark, that deficit will go away quickly if he does.
And how about how he capped that one out, almost like the 1-2 punch.
There's 57 seconds left to play here in the first. Here's Mirotic. It's rebounded by Indiana.
And for most every team out there, guys, they're looking for a guy like C.J. Miles. Decent size, natural movement skills, and can absolutely shoot the lights out. Call him buckets, because that's a lethal formula.
We'll see if they want to trade 2 for 1 here.
Got to time up that clock to do so.
Mirotic, the screen. The open shot by Brooks. The pick gave him all the room he needed, and he knocks down the J.
You can't afford to get him that kind of a look.
Well, you know, he came off a good screen, but still, as a defender, you've got to do a better job of fighting over and through that.
So the whistle blows on the shot, and 2 free throws for the contact right there.
Yeah, way to play in attack mode and get to the line.
And, you know, the defense gets their money's worth on that foul, stopping the layup and not giving up the and one.
The Pacers shooting their 5th and 6th free throws of the game.
And taking a look at their free throw statistics on the season, right around 74%.
Guys, their free throw shooting has slipped a bit since last year, but not really to the point where they should be overly concerned about it.
And he can't get the first one. He doesn't get the second one.
And here in the early going, missed free throws starting to become the storyline.
Yeah, and as a coaching staff, you feel helpless here. I mean, there's nothing you can do about it. You just hope they snap out of the rut.
Mirotic, the screen. Brooks dishes to Snell. With 1 on the clock. And that does it for the first quarter. It's Chicago up 8. And we'll be back shortly for the start of the second quarter. And before the game, Star Center Joakim Noah talked about the intensity of this Chicago Bulls team.
I feel like we're the hungriest team in the NBA. That's a great feeling.
You know, I think Joakim can certainly make a case, Clark, for Chicago being that famished 5, especially with Rose back on the court.
There's no doubting that, Kevin. I mean, even the addition of Gasol with his 2 rings, the way he left things in L.A., that left him with an appetite that has him still hustling.
And the first quarter is in the books. Second about ready to get underway. And taking a look at Chicago's performance here, guys, what have they been doing or not doing?
It's been about the pace. You can see they're going to try to keep this game in the open floor.
Yeah, and, you know, it's been a tempo that they like, and they're getting some easy buckets in transition here.
On the court right now, second quarter for the Bulls. The big men are Gibson and Noah. Jordan is out there with Derrick Rose. And it's Butler in at the 3 spot. And the shot is good. Butler's got the opening basket here in the second quarter for Chicago. Pacers trail by 11. Bulls always seem to be tough on the road, and last season no different. They would end with 23 road wins on the year.
And that number was good enough for the second most in the East. Unlike shooting, it's very hard for defenses to go cold, and that's why the Bulls have been so good on the road.
And he makes it look easy, dunking it hard with one hand.
Tacks a few more points onto their lead with the tomahawk.
Ah, that's bringing it down hard, Clark.
Yes,
bring it down hard,
yes,
my
sir.
brother.
Symbolic there as well of the effort here tonight.
And George gets it to go. The Bulls leading by 11. Rose in the post. Hill's there. Rose, that's good. Rose has got 8 points.
And he could be the guy to put this game out of reach.
Hill a screen on Rose. And there's the whistle. Illegal screen. Block shots, a stat that sometimes doesn't tell the whole story. Big-time shot blockers aren't always elite defenders. And then the opposite is true. Their block shot totals don't quite capture that great impact they really have defensively.
You know, and Akeem the Dream, certainly one of the greatest all-around players to have ever played. The game, an endless array of offensive moves down low, no doubt, and defensively, his numbers speak for themselves. I mean, almost 4,000 career blocks, 2 Defensive Player of the Year awards, just a legendary low-post defender.
You know, so many games are decided by which team wins the rebound battle, and that's held true in this one so far.
And Clark, their effort on the glass has given them the advantage, but it's also been the effort in general that's made a difference.
Hill, he's checked in for Indiana.
And you look at Joakim Noah, I mean, one of those hybrid talents. As a center, he gives you the rebounding, the shot blocking you want, but then he also has tremendous passing skills and instincts and the energy of a mountain lion.
Now, here's Rose. Paul George unable to get his shot to go. Outside Rose, it's Jordan on the wing. Down to 5 on the shot clock. And a little under 2.5 minutes gone by here in the second quarter. And the shot is good. And going back to Joakim Noah, he really is a hybrid. He holds American, Swedish, and French citizenships. He's truly a man of the world, and he's worldly on the floor. He can guard and play a lot of different positions.
And Kevin, he looks like a man of the world. He has a unique style unto himself, but I'll take the versatility and the hustle he brings on my team any day. If he's healthy, he's a factor.
The drive by Jordan. Dishes it to Rose. No good. And Indiana will go the other way with it. Well, they've got the Lakers ahead of them after this game. In the next game, it'll be played in Los Angeles. That sets in motion a 4-game road trip for them. Hill kicks to Hill. Off the screen. Here's Allen. No luck. They battled on the glass, but couldn't knock it down. Here's Jordan. And it's sent back by George. And the ball travels out of bounds. It was last touched by George. Chicago making a switch here. Gasol's checked in.
Pau Gasol.
Indiana on D, trailing by 13. And it's Gibson, that time on the assist by Jordan. Gibson's got his first bucket of the night.
And defensively, they're on their heels every time the ball comes inside.
Yeah, I think they've got to ramp up the aggressiveness, Greg. I mean, if they don't, things are just going to get worse from here.
Now here's Stuckey. Looking at his numbers, he averages a bit over 9 points a game.
Even double team, he had the vision to see the open man.
Rose against Hill. Rose passes to Butler. Gibson the screen. Kicks it to Jordan. Takes the three. No luck. And Indiana will go the other way with it.
Well, they're in the lead, but he's still been frustrated from an offensive standpoint.
And 2 shots coming up at the line as he gets fouled on the shot.
So I tell you what, he earned his money on that foul.
Yeah, if you're going to foul, then make sure that you don't give a chance for the and one.
Hey guys, no doubt George Hill had it rough last season. He missed the first 28 games with that left knee injury, came back for 5, then missed another 11 games before his season got going. But you know what? He had one of his most productive years from that point on.
So he gets them both. And getting back to George Hill, what a second half of the season he had. He tore up several key categories, Clark.
Yeah, he was bogged down by injuries early in the season. Came back. Oh! And this sort of awesome dunk is one of the reasons this team is in charge of this game right now.
Clark, there is a swagger out here on the court that they possess and are not afraid to show it either.
That's right.
I tell you what, I used to love to go up and jam like that. And one bright note for the Pacers last season was the play of their bench. Adding Rodney Stuckey was a huge boost for them.
Time called here. Indiana decides to talk it over. And Stuckey led the charge for the Pacers bench, Greg, as you were talking about. But all around the reserves, Clark, were fantastic on the Pacers.
Yeah, third in the league at almost 41 points per game off the bench. First in the NBA in bench rebounding. And top 10 in field goal percentage as a bench.
And here are the Pacers now. It's a 13-point game. Stuckey outside. Hill has the open look. And good coming on the assist by Rodney Stuckey. And it's 7 points for Hill. Chicago's gone 1 of 2 on three-pointers here in the second quarter so far. And it's Rose penetrating. Here's Gibson. And 3 chances on that possession, but they just couldn't find a way to score. Hill with it. Butler covering. Hill kicks to Stuckey. To the inside. Here's Allen. And again, it's Indiana converting.
You know, there's no better sign of how efficiently a team is operating than their assist numbers. And theirs are fantastic.
Just beautiful when they play the game like this. And what a beautiful way to polish off that sequence. Just strong at attacking the rim.
That just puts a little more momentum on their side, don't you think?
Absolutely.
The defense got to tighten up now. I mean, you can't have the opposing point guard throwing down on you like that.
And it's George missing.
It has not been an easy quarter for him, at least offensively speaking.
Pulls up from the corner, and there's Derrick Rose on the assist by Butler. Butler's got 3 assists tonight.
And after his last game, really not surprised to see him as hot as he is here tonight.
Hill kicks to Allen. That one falls. His second basket of the game. He's now 2 for 3.
That's their third straight make off an assist.
Great ball movement.
Butler on the wing. Bulls moving the ball around. And Gasol with the dunk.
And very little fight put up by the defense as he made his way to the bucket for the jam.
They did seem to take the cautious approach, Greg, when it came to defending that one. You're right.
And guys, it's not the time for caution now. I mean, they've got to be aggressive and take some risk to see if they can cut that lead down.
Hill has the open look. His three-pointer's off the mark. The Bulls leading by 13. Butler kicks to Rose. Back to Butler. From deep three-point range, it's good. This time the assist from Rose. And 12 points for Jimmy Butler.
And getting going here in the second quarter, his second three-pointer of the game.
And the foul on Derrick Rose. That's his first foul. Mahimi's checked in for Solomon Hill. The Bulls also changing it up. Mirotic is checked in for Gibson. Dunleavy comes in for Jordan. And Brooks subbed in for Rose. Stuckey dishes to Hill. And he banks in the layup. Hill's got 4 points this quarter. So it's Chicago now.
I tell you what, he has quite the act to follow, but Fred Hoiberg was a quick choice for the brass in Chicago. Signed that 5-year deal over the summer. Was easily one of the most in-demand coaches available.
Butler from outside. Rebound by Mahimi. Pacers trail by 14. Here's Allen. And the shot is long.
That's what we call good defense in the paint. Worth its weight in gold.
It absolutely is, and maybe even more than that. I mean, you saw it right there. Without his presence, that's an easy basket.
Well, Greg, for Hoiberg, it's his first job as an NBA head coach. Now, we know he played. He's been a part of an NBA front office. Clark, he came from Iowa State, where he honed his coaching skills and was highly respected.
Yeah, very much respected, particularly as an offensive coach. And we know the Bulls are pretty solid defensively, and he'll be looking to ramp up that offensive approach for that team, and I think he will.
It just seems like the more he touches it, the more the lead grows.
Indiana making some changes. Hill comes in for Lavoy Allen. And it's C.J. Miles in for Hill.
You know, Jimmy Butler is one of those guys who had to overcome major odds just to get to the NBA. Reportedly, his father abandoned the family when Jimmy was an infant. Mom kicked Jimmy out when he was 13. The obstacles and adversity go on, yet he's made it and made it big.
And going back to Jimmy Butler, there were just so many times when he was set up to fail. He was not heavily recruited out of high school. He was even homeless when he was in high school in the Houston area. Went to a junior college, then Marquette, now in the NBA. So he played his freshman year at a junior college, which I think humbled him just a bit, but maybe gave him that work ethic that is so much Greg a part of his game now.
And Kevin, the talent was there. And most of all, as we see how he dealt with adversity, the heart was there. He blocked out the
That's his first personal foul. Shooting for Indiana, Rodney Stuckey. At the line for 2.
All right now, gentlemen, 2 shots. Move shots.
Free throw, good, Stuckey.
Hitting your free throws is a good way to get back into it. It stops the clock and extends the game. I mean, you want to take advantage of that situation. And they're shooting much better from the line here in the second quarter. So far, they haven't missed one.
54 seconds left in the first half. Noah the screen. Dunleavy kicks to Butler. From deep, Brooks. It's rebounded by Indiana. Victory eluded them last time in Chicago when they faced the Bulls.
Well, I mean, they lost their last matchup with this team, and foul trouble really plagued them throughout the game.
Yeah, I thought it was the carelessness, though, Greg. A lot of their starters had to have their minutes cut back as a result. I mean, they've got to play with much more discipline tonight.
8-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. Hill against Mirotic. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here.
Fourth personal foul. 2.
He's getting his first free throw attempt of the night right now.
He finished the season last year around 80% from the stripe.
He's been a completely different guy at the line this season. I mean, last year, you weren't sure what you were going to get when he got to the stripe. There's no way we could have expected such a huge increase in those free throw percentage numbers. You know, they've changed their game here in the second, getting a little bit more physical, playing with some toughness now.
And I'm looking for them to increase that lead if they can keep getting to the free throw line.
And George, here we go. No luck. And so that's the end of the first half. Bulls lead by 15. And time now to go courtside as we send you over to Doris Burke from the sideline. Doris?
Well, Pow, tell us what have been the key aspects to how this team is playing so far through the first 2 quarters.
Oh, just had to be aggressive from the beginning, take the shots that would.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Welcome, everyone. We'll be taking a look back at what was clearly a one-sided first half of action. Ernie Johnson here with Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. Big-time play throughout the first half for Jimmy Butler. He ended up with 15 points, 3 rebounds, and 1 block. The first 2 quarters went very well for him. And Kenny, what did you think about what you saw from Chicago?
Their ability to get into the paint and get to the rim has been deadly, constantly attacking the basket. It was clearly their intention right from the start to pound it inside as much as possible. And I don't see them straying from that strategy in the second half. It's going to be another paint-based attack.
How about you, Shaq? What did you think about Indiana? And that's going to do it for now as the second half is almost ready to get started. Back to Kevin Harlan and the rest of the 2K Sports crew. We're going to sit right here and wait for the end of the game and talk at you again.
Welcome back, everyone, to the start of the second half. Big margin on our hands, but we'll see if that gap narrows down in the third and fourth quarters.
Talk about complete control. Everything working in this one for Butler. 15 points, and he's done a little bit of work behind the arc. He's got a pair of 3-pointers.
And you know what? The defenders have that in the back of their minds now. They'll be on him a little tighter.
Hill and Stuckey are the guard set. Lavoy Allen out there with Paul George. And it's Turner in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. That's the Pacers' 5. Allen's shot is off.
And that'll increase their rebound advantage. They've definitely been winning that battle on the boards.
You know what? No rebounds, no rings, and they've controlled the boards, and that's what's given them control of this game. Really crisp, intelligent passing to make that basket possible. And really, the Bulls weathered a lot of injuries last season and still had a good showing in the East. Came away with the 3 seed when many thought they would sink down after missing so many games from key players.
Rose kicks to Butler. Stolen by George. And a minute played as the second half gets going. Puts it up from 12. And yes, sir, that one drops. George has got 4 points this quarter.
That's what I call a captivating move there. He absolutely incinerated the D with that one.
Jordan kicks to Butler. Left side Gasol. Baseline jumper. And that one off the back of the rim and in. Gasol's got 10 points in the game. Pacers trail by 15. Hill passes to Stuckey. Allen with the screen for Stuckey. Lets it go from deep. Good. He's got 10.
They're doing work here in the second half. 3 or 4 to start.
Chicago timeout call.
Chicago calls timeout.
You can tell he's in a lot of pain. They'll take a timeout until that trainer can help him out.
And injuries, once again, were a central theme of the Bulls' season last year. Losing Rose was one thing, but then having Jimmy Butler lose a lot of time put them in such a tough spot.
The Pacers making a change here. Hill's checked in, and the Bulls making a change also. Dunleavy's checked in for Jordan. Here is Rose. He's got 12. And for the Bulls and injuries, a lot of teams plan for these type of things. There's only so much Clark can do to mitigate losing your starting backcourt.
But I tell you, great respect and admiration for the Bulls for how they fought through the difficulty. I mean, their front court did what they could. The injuries, once again, I thought turned the Bulls from championship contenders to just a playoff team.
I tell you what, the defense should send Christmas cards for that miss.
The drive by Hill. Derrick Rose grabs the miss.
You know, they don't score on that shot, but they're going to be happy with those kinds of possessions.
Noah in the post. Defended by George. Noah's shot is off. Pacers trail by 12. George dishes to Hill. Back to George. Steps back and shoots.
And the rebounding has been key to their success here tonight.
It has been a lopsided battle on the boards, no doubt.
And again, Chicago, no good. For Indiana, they've gone 3 of 6 in the third quarter, 50% from the field. Allen kicks to Hill. Indiana moving it around. The shot by Hill. Again, missing Hill.
When he's wide open like that, he'll rarely miss those.
And it's time for an injury report.
Hello, Kevin. I spoke with the head athletic trainer for Chicago. Unfortunately, guys, he said it doesn't look good. The season is young, but that is tough news to get at any point in the year. We'll see how well the team comes together in his absence. Kevin?
Thanks, Doris. Guys, the only thing you can wish for is that the prognosis isn't quite as bad as they're making it out to be.
Yeah, that's a tough one. Was really hoping for better news than that, but that does not sound encouraging.
It sure doesn't. I mean, that's a really hard blow there.
So many people overlooked Pau Gasol prior to last season, seem to think that Clarkie was past his prime.
Well, he was a starter in the All-Star game and a huge reason the Bulls played as well as they did. It was a big season for him. A lot of GMs shaking their head for not going harder after him.
Time called here. Indiana decides to talk it over.
You know, and with Pau Gasol, it was weird to think that the Lakers were just so ready to let him go and move on.
Hill, he's checked in for Turner. And the Bulls making a change here as well. Snell's checked in. Count that one. The Bulls' lead has been cut down now to just 12 points with the basket from Paul George. Rose against Hill. From the wing. Rose, that's good. Rose has got 14.
And with the skill set that Powell has and the year he had, there's no telling how long he can play at a high level. Again, one of those guys that never been reliant on the athletic ability to have an impact.
Here's Allen, and Gasol sends it back. Outside Butler. Yes, and it's Rose with the assist that time. 18 points for Butler. And what's your take, guys, on the hustle sticks for the Bulls?
We've seen them make the extra effort from a defensive standpoint, closing out airspace and sending shots back.
They've repeatedly gotten out on the break tonight as well and scored a lot of baskets in transition. Even against solid defense, he's still going to try to continue to make that shot.
And I wouldn't bet against him in that situation the next time out.
Rose passes to Gasol. And Chicago with another bucket.
And the jump shot has been a dimension of this game where they've had a clear advantage.
Greg, they keep pulling up and watching them go down. It's a really nice thing to see.
Here's Snell. Out to the wing. Pulls it up. Allen with the rebound. Allen's got his 5th rebound in this one. Pacers trail by 19. Outside Hill. The dish to Allen. Hill fires to stop the run. Goes up again, and the layup good by Hill.
He was the first one to react to that miss. Excellent anticipation on his part. A hustle play on the putback by him.
Now Rose. 14 points for him. No good. George with the defensive effort. And a foul on the shot. He'll go to the stripe for 2. It's on Jimmy Butler.
You know, if you're looking to build a small forward and there wasn't a LeBron James template, you might go with PG, Paul George. Height, length, athleticism, that combination off the charts with him. And he's got a nice, unflappable demeanor, too.
Roof shots.
That free throw, no good. Yeah, talking about Paul George, a big part of his dominance, his attitude. He doesn't yell or pump his fist. He's really the quiet assassin.
Yeah, once he maxes out in the weight room, which he will, now that he's in his mid-20s, I think he's going to be an Adonis. I mean, exactly the kind of physique you're looking for in a prototype at the small forward.
Rose attacking, and that is good. Rose has got 4 this quarter.
Nothing better than a hustle play like that. It gets the whole team amped up, sets the example for everyone.
Here's Hill. He has 7. Pass to Mahimi. Mirotic against George. And he banks in the layup. George has got 17.
And he is really in a zone right now, playing and scoring with confidence.
Rose dishes to Mirotic. He kicks it to Brooks. Gibson the screen. Pass to Rose. Back to Brooks. 5 on the clock. Rose goes in. That drops, and it comes off an assist from Brooks. 18 points for Derrick Rose. Pacers trail by 18. And the foul on Derrick Rose. That'll be his 2nd foul of the game. Rodney Stuckey's checked in for the Pacers. Jordan, he's checked in for Chicago. Leaps for it, and so it looks like the Pacers will retain possession here.
Now let's take a quick look at the numbers for Jordan. Averaging about 24 points, 6 assists, and 7 rebounds. And just look at those scoring totals. He's been doing what he does best, putting points on the board.
Absolutely. I mean, he has those real natural scoring instincts. The ability to find creases in the defense, just fantastic.
Another shot. And it's Chicago with the rebound. Mirotic has got his 3rd rebound on the night. Jordan with it. Rodney Stuckey covering. Brooks misses. Indiana's gone 1 of 2 from beyond the arc since coming out of the break. Stuckey into the lane. Mahimi's shot is good. Mahimi's got his second bucket of the night.
They're consistently finding ways to get the ball inside and taking full advantage.
Pretty clear, it's smash mouth basketball. Pound that thing inside.
On its way from Rose, and the Bulls tack on 2 more.
He shot the ball exceptionally well as they've built this lead for themselves here.
Stuckey kicks to Hill. Stuckey a screen on Jordan. Miles the pass to Stuckey. Indiana moving the ball around. 6 to shoot. Hill dishes to Mahimi. Indiana needs to get a shot off. And here's Miles outside. Miles with another miss. Chicago leading by 18. Rose kicks to Brooks. Mirotic the screen. Here's Jordan. It's good. This time the assist from Rose. Rose has got 5 assists in the game. The Pacers shooting under 40% all in all for the game. 1:12 left in the third quarter. Hill a screen on Rose. The feed to Stuckey. Hill passes to Stuckey. Got it from 16 feet. Stuckey's got 5 points now this quarter.
You know, if you're only looking at the way he's played offensively, you'd think his team would have the lead.
Rose dishes to Gibson. It's stolen by Mahimi. And here comes the break. Here's Miles. Rose with the rebound.
It's a +5 advantage for them in the rebounding category after that board.
Very steady with their work on the interior. Really a well-rounded effort overall. Wow, the floor just really opened up for him on that possession.
Yeah, I mean, I'm all for good offense, but that was just a terrible reaction from the defense.
And the foul on Derrick Rose. And that'll be his 3rd foul so far. Turner's checked in for Hill. There's 31 seconds left in the third quarter. Here is Miles. Brooks covering, and it's Miles missing.
Just tentative in the paint, lacking a little bit of confidence, allows the defender to recover and contest that shot. That one was solid. There's a big difference in the field goal percentages between these two teams here in the second half.
And, Greg, that difference has come about because we've got one team moving crisply, getting good shots, and the other is just kind of stagnant.
And the wide-open shot from Rose. And it's good. Assisting on the play was Brooks. Brooks has got his 3rd assist on the night. The 3 quarters of play all in the books, and this one all but over already. It's Chicago running away with it. Don't go anywhere. The final quarter is coming up next on 2K Sports. And we welcome you back as we get going here in the fourth quarter. The final quarter of play can change everything. Chicago's gotten a lot of looks from outside tonight, 5 of 12. On the court for the Bulls, getting this fourth quarter started. They've got Dunleavy. Mirotic is out there with Portis. Then there's Tony Snell, and it's Brooks in at the 1 spot. And it's Buttinger finishing it off.
That's a terrific sequence at both ends of the floor. They block the shot and recover it for the fast break finish.
And here is Brooks. Mirotic sets the screen for Brooks. It's deflected. Turner with the steal. And Young kicks to Miles.
And one priority for the commissioner this year was how the schedule worked. There were complaints about too many back-to-back games, and it was something everybody wanted to improve upon.
Chicago making some changes. Joakim Noah's checked in for Portis. Gasol comes in for Dunleavy. And it's Jimmy Butler coming in for Tony Snell. So he makes 1 of 2 as the second one misses.
With Joakim Noah, I mean, you know exactly what he's going to give you every season. Rebounding, block shots, steals, a few points, relentless energy and enthusiasm, and even a few assists as well.
George against Brooks. And George, here we go. Sweet little floater. George has got 11 points here in just the second half.
Oh, terrific way to finish that move there, going to the basket.
And Joakim Noah. He's all about doing whatever it takes to help his club succeed. Always has been. Greg, he did the dirty work when he played inside at Florida. When they won back-to-back championships, he's done it in each and every NBA season in Chicago.
And you just hit on it. I mean, he bites, he scratches, he claws his way into the upper echelon in terms of elite centers in our league. In 2014, he was named All-NBA first team as well as Defensive Player of the Year. Let's just hope he's healthy this season to get back to that level.
And Brooks, here we go. It's stolen by Hill. And now the fast break. Hill with the ball. And a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot 2 right here.
Well, how about Paul George in this one? He's got 19 points and 2 rejections. The motor on this guy is amazing. Completely revved up. He's been everywhere today.
And it's hard to say which has influenced the game more, really, his offense or his D. I mean, take your pick.
First one falls for him.
You know, and Paul George played the first few years of his career in the NBA with 24 on his back. And as you can see, he now goes with 13 after making the switch prior to last year.
Jordan Hill, he's checked in for the Pacers. And Chicago also making a switch. Jordan, he's checked in for Mirotic. Gasol a screen. At the top of the key, Brooks. Again, the miss by Brooks. And with Paul George going with the number 13 now, as you can see, helps with his nickname, PG-13.
Yeah, that's a good nickname, a nice fit. Young Tracy, as he likes to go by on Twitter, he said himself that it was about embracing his stature and stardom in the league. Nice way to do it.
The drive by Jordan, and it's sent back by Hill. Just over 2.5 minutes played now here in the final quarter of regulation. A 3-ball. Count the bucket.
As long as they keep spraying them from deep, we're going to have ourselves one exciting finish.
Yeah, it took them a while, but now they're starting to get into a flow from outside. And boy, is that time.
Jordan with it. He's picked up by Hill. 4-on-3 break. The rim-rattling two-handed jam.
And that's how you make a steal count. Turn it into a quick slam at the other end.
It was really a case, it looked like Greg Anthony right there, if I can say so. It was really a case of a great defensive play triggering some instant offense.
Yeah, I remember GA as an irritant. And this guy, much like Greg, creating havoc out there.
Chicago calls timeout. Well, the Pacers, despite all their injuries from last season, were right in the playoff hunt until the very end. Had a chance, in fact, GA, on the last day to sneak in, but it didn't happen.
Yeah, they needed a Brooklyn loss to go along with them winning that last game. Ultimately, though, it wasn't in the cards for them, and they ended a game out of the postseason.
Doris Burke has some information for us. Doris?
I was able to listen in on what Chicago's coach was going over with his team. He said we are this close to finishing them off, but the job is not done yet, and I don't want to see any let-up out there. We'll see how well his point got across, guys.
And, you know, the Pacers had made the playoffs in each of the last 4 seasons prior to last year's miss. Hard for a team that was coming off of back-to-back conference finals appearances to stomach that. But with the injuries, they'll be better and back in the playoffs next year, I'm sure.
And George kicks to Hill. Indiana moving it around. In transition, here come the Bulls, looking to end the drought. That's good. That's 7 points for Aaron Brooks.
It's been about tempo and pace with this group, and it's led to a huge advantage in fast break points.
Greg, is really the main reason they're in front. All that early offense. I mean, when they've had the chance to push it, they've pushed it.
George passes to Hill. And now Brooks running the floor all by himself. Finished off the break. And the Bulls lead by 15.
He hasn't really done much on the offensive end, but he's worked within the team concept to help them get the lead. He's done some other things other than scoring to help his team get the lead here.
Too long in the paint, and he's hit with a 3-second violation.
And really, it's going to be more of a reload than a rebuild situation for the Pacers. You would have to imagine their goal isn't just to get back to the playoffs, but to get back to being a conference final participant.
And he shows the focus there, nails the technical.
You know, I can think of one way to describe George Hill. It's the culmination of several attributes. I mean, he comes from the school of Popovich, plays under control, always in the right place defensively. The way I describe him is just steady.
The Pacers making a change here. Stuckey's checked in. Hill a screen on Brooks. Just 5 to shoot. Nobody near Allen. And it's Chicago with the rebound. Earlier in the game, they held a 25-point lead. An interesting thing about George Hill, he was traded from the Spurs to the Pacers a few years back. Many people were surprised the Spurs would even trade a valuable veteran when they were trying to win a championship. But who did they trade him for? Kawhi Leonard. A pretty good deal.
Well, you know, Hill is really solid. He knocks down open shots, can run the offense or play off the ball equally well. I think he's a terrific combo guard. Gives you a little bit of everything and does it in a professional way. And that's typically what attracts him to other teams.
And it's Butler missing. And here's Indiana. They're on a 17-6 run. Hill dishes to Hill. And so it's going to be a 3-second violation out there on the defense. Bulls made the postseason for the 10th time in their last 11 seasons. Last year, they have become a fixture, Greg, in the playoffs in the East.
And how about last season, Kevin, had that interdivision matchup in their first round against the up-and-coming Bucks. Some hiccups for them in that series, but they were able to prevail.
Catching up on the changes for Chicago. Joakim Noah is checked in for Portis. Gibson comes in for Mirotic. And Derrick Rose is subbed in for Brooks.
A splendid pass that time by Rose.
Pacers trail by 15.
Boy, in that playoff series against the Bucks, the Bulls looked like they were primed for an upset as they started slowly. Eventually pulled it together and came in as the underdogs against the Cavs.
The Bulls shooting 56% in this game, really stringing quality possessions together offensively. Here's Butler, and there's the whistle. Fouled hard on the shot. He'll go to the line.
That's his second personal foul.
And the Cavs knocked out the Bulls in 6 games. Bulls went up 2-1 in the series, but didn't have an answer for LeBron. Strong effort from the Bulls, though, but they just couldn't match the firepower of the Cavs.
Really impressed with the way Jimmy Butler last season made big strides in his game, going from a supporting role player to someone you can build your team around.
Rose with the ball. He's picked up by Hill, and the bucket counts, and he's on his way to the free throw line. Try to make it a 3-point play. And Jimmy Butler had the career highs across the board last season. Won the Most Improved Player of the Year award. Really picking up his production in his 4th season.
You know, we had seen the flashes of potential in Butler before. Last season, he sustained great play and really took everything to the next level.
Here's Rose. It's Jordan on the wing. From the arc. It's rebounded by Indiana. Hill's got his 5th rebound in this one. Jordan against Hill. Outside, George. Inside. Lets it go from 11. Noah with the block. Outside Jordan. Back to Butler. Gibson the screen. There's Rose with the three. Allen with the rebound. Allen's got 9 rebounds now tonight. George against Butler. And it's George missing.
That is some tough defense there against one of the better finishers in our game.
Second shot opportunity, and it's sent back by George. And the ball travels out of bounds. It was last touched by George. Here's Gibson. There's Rose with the three. The offensive rebound. And Noah with the slam.
And the defense just gets caught standing around that time and giving up the second chance opportunity.
You know, that just can't happen. They need much more effort than that on the glass.
Indiana calls timeout.
Timeout called, the Pacers.
Yeah, too many easy buckets coming from inside, and I think he wants to make that a point of emphasis.
I would certainly think so. I mean, if they keep giving up those kinds of easy looks inside, they'll be in big.
Let's catch up with Doris.
And let's keep them open. Let's keep gunning and get the defense on its heels. Likely the final major changes to their game plan as they try to make a late comeback here in the fourth. Kevin, back to you.
Thanks, Doris. And he gets it to go. 10 points for Hill.
And that's a great play on the backboard for him. I mean, it's what we expect. All his second chance points do not come by accident.
To the paint. Gasol's in the post. He's against Hill. Snell kicks to Gasol. And the dunk to finish it off. A beauty.
And if you thought this game was over already, you're probably right.
Yeah, I would agree. I mean, it's staring us right in the face, and we've been around long enough to know when a game is over. And this one is in that category.
The Indiana Pacers had a solid season last year, given they were without their star for most of it. They played well at home.
Yeah, even without Paul George, they were in contention. How about 23-18 at home, which is really a solid mark when you consider they didn't have their 2 best players from a season ago.
First free throw is good.
You know, for the Pacers and their 23-18 home record, that was better than several teams that made the playoffs in the East. They were very tough at home at the defensive end of the floor.
And the Pacers were 3rd in the league in field goal percentage against at home. Something about this crowd really drives the Pacers on the defensive end, even in a down year.
Dunleavy for 3, and the rebound goes to the Pacers.
You know, 9 times out of 10, he's going to knock that one down. He'll spray that one on you.
And this is going to end in a lopsided victory. I love the tenacity and aggressiveness, as well as the ability to close. You really got to give it up here for Chicago.
This was a very efficient offense tonight.
They knocked down their shots. I mean, a little luck didn't hurt either. A lot of their 50-50 shots went in the basket.
And it'll advance their win total up to 12 on the season.
And as we get set to put this one to bed, a one-sided season series thus far. They've won 2 straight.
Yep, but 2 more to go before the end of the season, and they'll obviously be very confident heading into those 2 games.
And as usual, great numbers and a dominant display for Derrick Rose. You can't look back at too many major moments in this game and not see his imprint put all over it.
Dunleavy kicks to Rose. Just 4 to shoot. From deep. And again, it's the Bulls from deep.
And they're not finished just yet. They're going to make sure about this win.
Yeah, not taking any chances, Greg. This is how you close a game out. Textbook.
2 seconds separating the shot clock and game clock. On the wing, Hill. He's covered by Rose. Hill, no good. Outside Rose. And so Chicago takes this one, and by a big margin. A resounding victory for them. And Greg in enemy territory, no less.
That's exactly right. But with the way they controlled the game and just completely took the crowd out of it, that's how to get it done on the road.
And a chance now to send you over to Doris Burke, standing by on the sideline. Doris?
Well, pal, congratulations on the win here. How satisfying is this victory for you and the team?
It's satisfying just because we got another great win. And the way we've been playing lately, I think it's just been great, and we just got to keep the momentum going.
Wins help the confidence, pal. Congratulations, guys.
The 2K Sports postgame show.
Thank you, Kevin. And now we have the opportunity to present our Jordan Player of the Game, Derrick Rose. He led the way tonight with a double-double and was a major reason why they won tonight. His effort and intensity gave them the boost they needed. Let's get your opinion, Kenny.
Well, he reminded us all of how dangerous he is as a slasher. He drove the lane time and time again and got points inside to show for it. An explosive, hard-charging performance. I loved it.
We saw.
And that wraps things up, folks. Thanks for joining us. For Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny